Hello, boys and girls. Got another video for you fine folks on the internet. Another installment in the Matthew Buckley Talks music series. Today, looking at sort of a special limited release. This is Just Another Diamond Day by Mutual Benefit. Released in June 2017 by Turntable Kitchen and reissued in April 2019 as part of Record Store Day by Turntable Kitchen and Transgressive Records, issued on red vinyl. Now, a little background for those that might not be familiar, because this is kind of a multifaceted deal. Mutual Benefit is the brainchild of singer-songwriter and multi-instrumentalist Jordan Lee. After graduating and moving to Texas, Lee began recording songs he had been writing since high school, and after moving again to Boston to attend the Berklee School of Music, began issuing self-produced cassettes and releasing music on the popular distribution website Bandcamp. And since 2009, Lee has released 5 full-length albums and a handful of EP and single releases under the name Mutual Benefit. And this project in particular here, as I said, was released in June 2017 as part of a monthly vinyl series titled Sounds Delicious Vinyl, launched by Turntable Kitchen, in which an artist from their roster covers an entire album to be released as a limited edition pressing or delivered through a yearly subscription service. Now, this album, Just Another Diamond Day, was originally recorded by European, I think she might be Scottish, but I'm not 100% sure, singer-songwriter Vashti Bunyan, and her original is one of my all-time favorites. I could blab at length about that, but it's very, intimate acoustic music. And in his own words, Lee of Mutual Benefit said that reinterpreting Diamond Day was a no-brainer to attempt, and agreed that much of the album is pretty compatible with Mutual Benefit's aesthetic. So, on to the music itself. Side A opens with Diamond Day, a carefree, lilting acoustic song about just living another beautiful day. In this particular case, a day of life on the farm, plowing fields and sowing seeds, feeding children, passing horses. It's a jaunty song full of positive vibes. And the next track is Glowworms, a gentle piano-based interpretation. There's still, some acoustic guitar, but it definitely seems to be a little more directed towards piano if my ears aren't deceiving me. And it's laced with spacey, psychedelic effects throughout. In my opinion, the first lyrics are just so sweet. This is a love song if I've ever heard one. It ends with, again, the sweet lyrics, "Love me through the day, and I'll go with you into summer and the next year's snow. Be still, my heart." The following track, Lily Pond, is a tune that Vashti Bunyan wrote around the melody of the children's song Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. In this reading, it's very echoey. It's a psychedelic song. There's lots of strange effects drenched over the vocals, and it's played at a severely slowed tempo. But it works. It's enjoyable. The next track, Timothy Grubb, is a vaguely biographical tale about Bunyan and her boyfriend Robert Lewis, who, as the song goes, decided one day to go into the wood and build them a house, until the owner of the land had 2 police evict them. The song details their car, called Happiness Runs, and includes a really great line about how happiness runs out of petrol, and everyone gets out to push. There are lyrics about a beautiful black horse, living in a cupboard, dreaming of living in the countryside, and rejecting urban life. It's a jubilant song and surprisingly rooted in reality. This cover incorporates some sort of chimes to great effect. And the next track is another acoustic folk song, ambling along at a relaxed tempo, an anecdote of watching the waves, counting hours, watching men in boats wave to their wives. Sort of an ode to passing time in solitude. Ultimately ending with a lyric about how the beach is where the singer likes to stand. It's a fun song, and this cover is well done. Pardon me. The next track, Swallow Song, is one of my favorites, both on the original album and on this version. A very, very intimate, in-the-moment song, zeroing in on such small details of a scene in each verse. It details the brimming sunset, a sight of a swallow and its young, the changing color of an oak leaf, and contemplation of the inevitable passing of summer and coming of winter. It concludes with a real cute verse about a cat on the doorstep waiting to be fed. It's another truly sweet song, one of my all-time favorites. Tugs at my heart. Makes you contemplate the transience of everything. Days and years pass, and you have to appreciate everything and do what you can to make the most of it before it's too late. I love this song. And this version, again, is kind of centered more around piano. And it sounds like it features violin or viola, not quite sure, which perfectly suits the sensitivity of the song. And the next track, Window Over the Bay, is an acoustic wish list for life on the farm. Wishing for livestock, farm tools, and of all things, a window. This version features kind of a droning, psychedelic, electronic sound behind the electric guitar, but is still pleasant. And side 1. And side 2 opens with Rose Hip November, another acoustic song, in this cover very much sounding psych folk. The lyrics have always been vague enough to elude direct interpretation, from me anyways. They kind of paint portraits of various scenes for the listener. The first verse describing falling autumn leaves as gold landing at our door. The second verse describing a tall pine tree waiting for snow to fall in the hanging mist. And another ethereal but earthly song. This cover sounds so ghostly, I guess is the best way to describe it. And the next track, Come Wind, Come Rain, is yet another jubilant, ambling, acoustic, guitar-centered traveling song. Lyrics tell again and again of another 10 miles and how the snow has snowed, the grass has growed, and it's time that we were on the road. I love that kind of writing. It's a little corny, but it's well done. Great song, and even if this rendition isn't quite as fun as the original, whatever that really means, the following track, Hebridean Sun, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, is a short but sweet traveling song again, telling of the coming of spring along the way. Too brief to be a highlight, but pleasant nonetheless. And the next track, Rainbow River, is another one of my personal favorites of Bunyan's. Much like Swallow Song from Side A, it magnifies the lens, observing a single moment and the majesty, all the majesty found in one small slice of the world. From a small boy fishing on the titular Rainbow River to a stone-built farmhouse where a fair-haired farmer builds up a new haystack and bakes a bread loaf, to a family sitting by a fire gently glowing in the darkness of a meadow. Picturesque, pristine, and simple. It's really great stuff. This reading loses none of the delicate beauty of the original either. very well done. And the next track, Trawlerman's Song, is another very sweet love song. A traveler singing of coming home from far across the sea to his wife. Even the waves on the shores of his home sing of how he has been missed. Another brief but beautiful song. And the next track, Jog Along Bess, is another very fun folk song, another biographical account of Bunyan's travels and acquisition of various animal companions. The first verse details a cow or oxen named Bess. The second verse, an Afghan hound named Magog, shortened to May. And the third verse, a squeaky dog named Blue, concluding their travels in the fourth verse. And this reading of the song almost sounds uncertain, in my opinion, and ends with the final verse kind of petering out into strange sounds as opposed to another repeat of the chorus, as in the original. But it's a great song. It's one of my favorites on the album. It took, initially, back when I first discovered Vashti Bunyan and the Diamond Day album, it took me a while to warm up to Jog Along Bess because I thought it was just too silly, but it's a fun song. It's a good fun song. And again, the biographical nature is not to be missed. But the next track is Iris's Song for Us, which is actually an old traditional folk song. Another song I interpret as a dedication of love and commitment. In the first verse, the singer declares having gladly left the glaring streets to share a bed of grass with you, and concludes the final verse, and now, my love, please let me cross brown boundaries of sleep with you. I like it. And that's the end of side 2. So, final thoughts. The original Vashti Bunyan album, Just Another Diamond Day, is one of my all-time personal favorite records. It's intimate and gorgeous, and simultaneously feels of the natural earth. Songs about the transcendent beauty of individual moments sit side by side, road songs about traveling, and side by side biographical songs about living on the farm, right beside abstract poetry set to acoustic music. This cover album was clearly produced with a great deal of care and reverence for the original work. Some songs are transfigured to be based around piano instead of guitar, and rather than employ strings and small orchestra as on the original, there are many ethereal effects spread around the songs, reverb, echo, delay, and the like, which, are all used to great effect. In my opinion, there isn't really a single song that sounds contrived or uninspired on this cover album. Each track is given 100%, whether in rearrangement or simply in delivery. So this is... I was very pleased with this purchase from a couple of record store days ago. Let me get this out of the sleeve and get you guys a closer look at some of the art, some very basic Bunyan-esque drawings of animals like deer and fox and birds, which really does look a lot like the style of the way animals are drawn on her more recent albums that have come out since like 2007. Heart Leap, I think, came out in 2014, and Look Aftering in 2007. And they have an art style very similar. There's the track list kind of bubbled in. And the gatefold is basically the same, but blue and white. Has a list of some of the participants and certain recording info. Got, Emily Sprague on synth, guitar, and Lily Pond vocals. Jake Falby on both violin and viola. So, hey, I'm not crazy. Katie Bennett adding vocals, L. Kelly adding vocals, Noah Klein adding flute. Art by Julia Rothman. There we go, that's what I was looking for. But this particular edition, every edition was a color vinyl. I believe there's a sky blue vinyl, a pink vinyl, and a white vinyl from the initial 2017 issue. But the Record Store Day 2019 repress was on red vinyl. So here's the A-side label. B-side label featuring a cute little cat. Yeah, it sounds great, and it's a very well-crafted cover album. Like I said, you can hear the reverence and respect that Jordan Lee and everyone else involved clearly has for Vashti Bunyan, and the admiration for her songwriting, trying to carry these across authentically as possible. So, let me get a sip of bubbler here. Product placement. So, all things considered, I would probably rate this 7 out of 10. I wouldn't hesitate to rate the original Vashti Bunyan album a full 10 out of 10, but being that this is just a cover album, it's hard to really give it too critical a rating, but at the same time, it is such quality, such a pleasant listen. Easily a 7 out of 10 for me. So, let me know in the comments below. Have you heard this album? Did you pick up the Record Store Day edition a couple of years ago, or did you happen to get the initial Turntable Kitchen issue in 2017? Are you familiar with Mutual Benefit or any of his other work? Are you familiar with Vashti Bunyan or any of her other work? Let me know below. Let's get a discussion flowing in the comments. I appreciate anybody that's watched all the way through this 17 plus minutes of rambling. But again, any and all viewership is great. I appreciate it immensely, and I'll keep it coming for you. So thank you again for watching. This has been Matthew Buckley Talks Music with Mutual Benefit, Just Another Diamond Day. Music is the best.